In the heart of the CIA headquarters stands a cryptic sculpture made of copper, steel, and secrets known as Kryptos. Designed by artist Jim Sanborn in 1990, it hides encrypted messages that have baffled codebreakers, intelligence officers, and computer geniuses for over 3 decades. Even with some parts solved, one final message remains unbroken, a riddle that defies the brightest minds on Earth every day. Top cryptographers and intelligence analysts walk past Kryptos. Many have tried and many have failed. Despite clues released by its creator, one final section, known as K4, remains unsolved, and it might hold the ultimate secret of the sculpture. In this video, we'll uncover what makes Kryptos so mysterious, explore what's been decoded so far, and see if we can piece together the clues that have haunted puzzle solvers for more than 30 years. In the late 1980s, the headquarters of the CIA in Langley, Virginia, was not the kind of place you'd expect to find art. It was a fortress of secrets, a place where intelligence officers worked in silence, decoding the mysteries of the world. But in 1988, something extraordinary happened. The CIA decided that even the heart of secrecy needed a touch of creativity. They commissioned a sculptor named Jim Sanborn, a man known not for espionage, but for blending science, language, and art into something thought-provoking. What they didn't realize was that this collaboration would give birth to one of the greatest mysteries the agency would ever encounter, a puzzle even they couldn't solve. Sanborn was not your ordinary artist. He had a fascination with codes, languages, and the hidden connections between words and symbols. When he was chosen to create a piece for the new CIA headquarters courtyard, he saw it as the ultimate opportunity to merge his love for mystery with a place built entirely on secrecy. The result of his imagination would become Kryptos, a copper sculpture stretching 12 feet high and 20 feet long, its curved sheet of metal covered with seemingly random letters. At first glance, it looked like an abstract piece of art, but hidden within those letters were encrypted messages, secret texts, encoded using classic Cipher techniques, waiting for someone clever enough to unlock them. When Kryptos was unveiled in 1990, even the CIA's top cryptanalysts were intrigued. They were surrounded by encryption daily, but this was different. It wasn't a code written by an adversary or a foreign intelligence agency. It was written by an artist, someone outside their secret world. The idea that an outsider could create a puzzle capable of stumping the best cryptographers in the world was both fascinating and unsettling. Sanborn collaborated with a retired CIA cryptographer named Ed Scheidt, the former chairman of the CIA's Cryptographic Center, to design the layers of encryption. Together, they made sure the sculpture wasn't just symbolic but technically sophisticated. Sanborn insisted that the code must be solvable, yet challenging enough to withstand decades of scrutiny. Scheidt provided guidance on encryption methods, while Sanborn focused on the design, the meaning, and the artistic message behind the work. The name itself, Kryptos, was chosen from the Greek word meaning hidden or secret. It was a perfect title for an artwork destined to live among spies. What makes Kryptos remarkable is how it bridges two worlds that rarely meet: the logical, precise realm of intelligence and the emotional, interpretive realm of art. It stands as a physical embodiment of the tension between what is known and what is concealed. Every letter etched into that copper sheet was carefully chosen to draw people in, to make them wonder, to make them question. The surface gleams with beauty, but beneath it lies complexity, much like the world of espionage itself. Sanborn once said that his goal was to create something that would speak to the CIA in their own language, and he did exactly that. His sculpture didn't just decorate the agency's courtyard, it challenged it. It whispered a question to everyone who walked past. Can you decipher me? For the agents and analysts at Langley, it became more than just a piece of art. It became a silent adversary, a riddle hiding in plain sight, a mirror reflecting their own obsession with secrets. And while Sanborn provided clues and explanations over the years, he never revealed the full story of how Kryptos was constructed or what its final message might reveal. From that moment on, the courtyard at Langley was no longer just a place of routine. It became the home of a riddle that refused to die, an artwork that blurred the line between intelligence and imagination. And as the first whispers spread through the agency's halls about hidden messages embedded in the sculpture, a quiet challenge was set in motion, one that continues to this very day. At first glance, Kryptos looks like an elegant sheet of copper curved gracefully like a wave frozen in time. But look closer, and you'll see it's not just art, it's a battlefield of letters, 1,732 of them, stamped meticulously across its gleaming surface. Random at first, but every one of those letters hides a pattern, a secret language waiting to be uncovered. What makes Kryptos truly remarkable isn't just its beauty or the fact that it stands in the heart of the CIA. It's that it contains 4 distinct coded messages, each more mysterious than the last. These 4 sections, known to cryptographers as K1, K2, K3, and K4, form the layers of a single, interconnected puzzle challenge that continues to baffle even the most brilliant minds on the planet. When Jim Sanborn and CIA cryptographer Ed Scheidt worked together to create Kryptos, they didn't just want a sculpture that looked secretive. They wanted it to be secretive. Sanborn decided to embed within the metal a series of encrypted texts that would require real skill, logic, and patience to crack. Scheidt taught Sanborn about encryption techniques, how letters could be rearranged, shifted, or disguised using mathematical formulas and linguistic tricks. The artist absorbed it all like a sponge, fascinated by the idea that language itself could become a form of art. From that collaboration emerged 4 coded messages, each hiding within the other like Russian nesting dolls. Each of these 4 sections used variations of classical ciphers, methods once used by spies, soldiers, and secret lovers throughout history. The Vigenère cipher, one of the key methods used in Kryptos, is a centuries-old encryption system that hides messages through shifting letters based on a keyword. When combined with transposition techniques, where letters are rearranged in specific patterns, it created an incredibly complex web of text that no one could decode at a glance. The first 3 sections of Kryptos were solvable with enough time and computing power, but the 4th K4 remains unbroken to this day, resisting every attempt to reveal its meaning. When you look at Kryptos from afar, you wouldn't know how carefully the sculpture's structure mirrors its hidden message. Even the spacing of the letters, the curvature of the metal, and the alignment of the words were planned to obscure the cipher's logic. Sanborn didn't just want a static artwork. He wanted an interactive experience, a puzzle that demanded engagement. To those who pass by it every day, Kryptos stands as both an invitation and a taunt. It's as if the sculpture is whispering, "Look deeper. I dare you." Over time, cryptographers realized that the 4 sections of Kryptos weren't just independent messages, they were interconnected, each revealing a clue about the next. K1 hinted at the use of a specific cipher. K2 suggested coordinates, possibly leading to something hidden nearby. K3 revealed a message that pointed toward an excavation, referencing something buried and waiting to be discovered. And then there was K4, the final and most elusive of all. For decades, experts have debated whether solving K4 requires not only decoding its letters, but also understanding the deeper symbolism of the sculpture itself. Inside the CIA, Kryptos became a quiet obsession. Codebreakers spent their lunch breaks staring at the sculpture, jotting down strings of letters, convinced they could outsmart it. Outside the agency, amateur cryptographers, linguists, and puzzle enthusiasts joined the chase. Online forums buzzed with theories, algorithms, and endless debates about the meaning of each sequence. The more people studied Kryptos, the more it seemed that each layer revealed a new mystery rather than an answer. What made it even more intriguing was that Sanborn designed the code to evolve with time. He once hinted that the environment, the sculpture's surroundings, the light, even its physical location might play a role in the solution. Was it a clue to look for patterns in the shadows it cast at certain times of day? Or was it a psychological trick, meant to mislead and confuse? The ambiguity only deepened the allure. And so, the 4-part cipher of Kryptos became more than just an art installation, it became a living enigma. Every solved section brought humanity one step closer to understanding it, but also one step deeper into its labyrinth. The balance between art and encryption, between simplicity and complexity, was masterfully crafted. Each letter etched into the sculpture serves as both an invitation and a barrier, daring anyone bold enough to try to see the unseen, to read the unreadable, and to unlock a message that has waited in silence for more than 3 decades. For years after Kryptos was installed, it stood in the courtyard of the CIA as a silent challenge, mocking everyone who passed by. Hundreds of cryptographers, intelligence officers, and computer scientists stared at those strange letters, confident that if anyone could crack it, it would be them. But as time went on, frustration replaced confidence. Kryptos wasn't giving up its secrets easily. Then, in the late 1990s, after nearly a decade of confusion, breakthroughs began to emerge. The first 3 parts of the sculpture's code, known as K1, K2, and K3, were finally deciphered, each revealing not just hidden text but deeper mysteries beneath the surface. The first section, K1, turned out to be written using a Vigenère cipher, a classical encryption method that replaces each letter with another based on a repeating keyword. Once decoded, the message read, "Between subtle shading and the absence of light lies the nuance of occlusion." That last word, occlusion, was intentionally misspelled by Sanborn, a twist meant to remind solvers that even clarity can be deceptive. It was poetic, almost philosophical, something you'd expect from an artist, not a spy. The phrase spoke about perception, about how truth hides in the spaces between what we see and what we don't. It was the perfect opening for a puzzle about hidden meaning, and it hinted that the sculpture itself was as much about illusion as encryption. Then came the second section, K2. This part took longer to solve because it was far more intricate. It used a different cipher, again the Vigenère, but with an additional layer of complexity. When finally cracked, the message read, "It was totally invisible. How's that possible?" They used the Earth's magnetic field. The information was gathered and transmitted underground to an unknown location. Does Langley know about this? They should. It's buried out there somewhere. Who knows the exact location? Only this was his last message. 38 degrees 57 minutes 6.5 seconds north, 77 degrees 8 minutes 44 seconds west. Those coordinates? They point directly to a spot near the CIA headquarters itself, just a short walk from where Kryptos stands. People began to speculate. Was something really buried there? Did W refer to William Webster, who was the CIA director when Kryptos was installed, or was it someone else entirely? The idea that there could be something hidden beneath the agency's own courtyard added another layer of mystery. It was as if the sculpture was hinting at a secret within a secret, a riddle that existed not just in code but in the real world. The third section, K3, took things in an even stranger direction. When decoded, it revealed a passage inspired by the famous archaeologist Howard Carter, the man who discovered the tomb of the Egyptian pharaoh Tutankhamun. The text read, "Slowly, desperately slowly, the remains of passage debris that encumbered the lower part of the doorway was removed. With trembling hands, I made a tiny breach in the upper left-hand corner, and then, widening the hole a little, I inserted the candle and peered in. The hot air escaping from the chamber caused the flame to flicker, but presently, details of the room within emerged from the mist. Can you see anything?" Yes, wonderful things. That passage was taken almost directly from Carter's own diary, describing the moment he first glimpsed the treasures of King Tut's tomb. It was an unexpected and haunting reference. Sanborn had embedded in the CIA courtyard a story about discovery, about revealing what had been buried for centuries. The connection between an ancient tomb and a modern sculpture about secrecy was profound. Perhaps Sanborn was drawing a parallel. Just as Carter unearthed a long-lost secret, Kryptos awaited someone who could uncover its own buried truth. But these 3 decoded messages didn't bring closure, they deepened the mystery. Each section seemed to lead toward the next, and together they appeared to form a story, the illusion of truth, a buried secret, and the moment of revelation. Yet the real meaning remained hidden in the final unsolved section. K4, the clues seemed to point toward something physical, something buried out there somewhere. Even now, many believe that K4's solution could reveal the final piece of that story, perhaps the exact location mentioned in K2, or maybe something more abstract, something philosophical that ties all the messages together. As the first 3 sections were cracked, the world marveled at the ingenuity of Sanborn's creation. It wasn't just a sculpture anymore, it was a living puzzle that had taken on a life of its own. The deciphered texts were poetic, mysterious, even eerie, hinting at shadows, buried messages, and wonderful things waiting to be discovered. And as codebreakers celebrated their victories over K1, K2, and K3, they all turned their attention to the final unsolved riddle, knowing that whatever it revealed could be the key to understanding Kryptos in its entirety. Even after the first 3 parts of Kryptos were cracked, one final message continued to mock every codebreaker who dared to confront it. This was K4, the last and most stubborn section of Jim Sanborn's sculpture, a block of 97 letters that has resisted every attempt at decryption for over 3 decades. It sits quietly at the bottom of the copper panel, blending into the rest of the sculpture, but those who know its importance can't look away. Every one of those 97 characters could be the key to a revelation or a message that was never meant to be understood at all. Since the day Kryptos was unveiled, countless brilliant minds have tried to solve K4. Members of the CIA, NSA analysts, professional cryptographers, mathematicians, and hobbyists across the globe have thrown everything they have at a brute force decryption. Linguistic analysis, artificial intelligence, and even pattern recognition software. Yet, despite all that effort, K4 remains unbroken. It's as if the sculpture is alive, defending its final secret with every ounce of mystery it holds. What makes K4 even more frustrating is that Jim Sanborn himself has teased the world with small clues, just enough to keep hope alive. In 2010, he revealed that when decrypted, part of the final message includes the word Berlin. Years later, in 2014, he released another clue, the word clock. These fragments, Berlin and clock, set off a storm of speculation. Could the phrase refer to the Berlin clock, a real monument in Germany that tells time using light patterns instead of numbers? Many cryptographers believe so. The Berlin clock, also known as the Mengenlehre, was designed using mathematical sequences and binary representations, exactly the kind of concept Sanborn would appreciate. It seemed like a perfect match, but even with those hints, no one could make the letters align into a readable message. Sanborn has stated that K4's message is the final piece of the puzzle, and that once it's solved, the entire meaning of Kryptos will be revealed. That statement alone has turned the sculpture from an art installation into a global obsession. Online forums and cryptography communities have dedicated entire threads and databases to the sculpture, tracking every attempted solution. Some believe K4 is simply another Vigenère cipher with a yet unknown key, while others think it might require physical interaction with the sculpture itself, measuring angles, distances, or even the direction of sunlight hitting the metal at specific times of day. As years passed, theories grew wilder. Some cryptographers suggested that Sanborn used a multi-layered cipher, meaning K4 could only be solved by applying several encryption systems in sequence. Others proposed that K4 might not contain a literal message at all, but rather a conceptual one, a statement about perception, secrecy, and the human desire to seek what is hidden. Even Jim Sanborn seems to enjoy fueling that mystery. He's admitted that he occasionally releases clues not to help, but to stir the pot, ensuring that the mystery never fades away. Despite his age, Sanborn still guards the full solution, stored safely in a vault, written on paper and locked away. He's hinted that he might reveal it one day, but never said when. The secrecy around it only intensifies the allure. Some believe that if K4 were finally solved, it could reference something tangible buried near the CIA courtyard, a capsule, a message, or even a piece of art hidden underground. Others think it might contain coordinates pointing somewhere far from Langley, perhaps even back to Berlin. The beauty of K4 is that no matter how many theories surface, none can be proven. Every attempted solution so far has fallen apart under scrutiny. The few that seemed convincing at first always failed to align perfectly with Sanborn's confirmed clues. Even modern supercomputers, capable of testing millions of cipher combinations per second, have failed to crack it. This has led many to wonder if Sanborn designed K4 to be unsolvable, or at least nearly impossible to decode without a key he has never shared. Yet the pursuit itself has become part of the sculpture's meaning. K4 has inspired decades of discussion, collaboration, and innovation. It's not just a puzzle hidden in metal, it's a reflection of human curiosity, the unending drive to uncover truth, even when it seems forever out of reach. The more people try to solve it, the more Kryptos becomes what it was always meant to be, a mirror of our own obsession with secrets, an eternal question that refuses to be silenced. As the years rolled on and the fourth part of Kryptos continued to resist decryption, the world's fascination with the sculpture only grew stronger. Every clue Jim Sanborn released seemed to pour gasoline on an already roaring fire. Cryptographers, internet sleuths, and conspiracy theorists all gathered around one central question: what exactly does K4 hide? Some believe it's a simple phrase that completes the poetic message of the sculpture, while others are convinced it's something far more profound, something that the CIA never intended the public to see. And in this endless chase for answers, theories have flourished, ranging from the logical to the completely outlandish. One of the most popular theories is that the final part of Kryptos contains a hidden location. The coordinates in the second section of the sculpture, those numbers pointing to a spot near the CIA headquarters, set the stage for this belief. When Sanborn revealed the words Berlin and clock as part of the K4 solution, theorists quickly connected the dots. They suggested that the Berlin clock, an actual monument known for its complex mathematical time display, was somehow the key. If Kryptos references Berlin, perhaps it points to a secret tied to Cold War intelligence operations, or even to the infamous Berlin Wall, a symbol of division, secrecy, and espionage. Some went as far as to believe K4 might lead to an undisclosed message buried in Berlin itself, left there during the Cold War when spies traded secrets in shadowy alleys and checkpoints divided nations. Another theory suggests that K4 may be metaphorical rather than literal, representing a philosophical concept rather than a physical place. Supporters of this idea argue that Kryptos is not just about code breaking, it's about the nature of knowledge and secrecy. The first three sections already carry poetic and mysterious undertones, speaking of illusion, invisibility, and discovery. So perhaps the fourth message isn't meant to be read as a standard sentence at all, but as a meditation on truth itself. In this interpretation, the unsolved cipher is a deliberate reflection of the world of intelligence, a reminder that not all secrets can or should be uncovered. It's art designed to mirror the human condition, not just a puzzle waiting for an answer. Then there are those who believe that K4 hides something even deeper, something encrypted not only in the letters, but in the physical structure of the sculpture. According to this theory, the curved copper panel, the placement of the letters, and even the shadows cast at specific times of day might contain hidden information. Jim Sanborn once hinted that Kryptos interacts with the natural world, implying that sunlight, angles, or magnetic orientation could play a role in solving it. This led to another explosion of speculation. Could K4 require an environmental key, one that changes with the Earth's rotation or the passage of time? If so, that would mean Kryptos isn't just a cipher carved into metal, it's a living puzzle, constantly shifting with nature itself. Online communities have spent decades dissecting every inch of Kryptos. Forums filled with theories, mathematical breakdowns, and speculative essays became digital war rooms where people traded ideas late into the night. Some cryptographers built algorithms to test every possible key combination, while others pored over photographs of the sculpture for patterns invisible to the naked eye. A few enthusiasts even recreated the sculpture in 3D software, hoping a new perspective might reveal something overlooked. But every time a theory seemed promising, it eventually collapsed under the weight of its own contradictions. Of course, the most extreme theories couldn't be avoided. Some claim Kryptos hides classified information, perhaps a message known only to high-ranking CIA officials. Others believe it connects to Area 51, or that it conceals details about secret programs buried within American intelligence history. There are even whispers that Sanborn used Kryptos to mock the CIA, embedding inside it a message that would expose their inability to see the truth even when it stands in front of them. It's the kind of idea that sounds impossible, yet it's exactly the sort of mystery that keeps the legend alive. Sanborn himself has done little to quiet these theories. Occasionally, he'll drop a hint, only to disappear again, leaving everyone with more questions than answers. He's admitted that he enjoys watching people wrestle with his creation, knowing that their interpretations, no matter how wild, are part of the sculpture's legacy. Kryptos isn't just a physical object anymore. It's a living story, a global puzzle that has transcended art, mathematics, and intelligence work. Every theory, every failed attempt, and every clue released by its creator adds to the mythology surrounding it, making Kryptos not just a code to be cracked, but a mirror reflecting humanity's endless hunger for meaning, and the thrilling frustration of chasing a truth that always stays just out of reach for more than 3 decades. Kryptos has stood in silence, unchanging, unmoved, and unbroken. Its copper surface has weathered wind, rain, and time, yet the secret it holds remains untouched. People have come and gone, technology has evolved, supercomputers have grown infinitely more powerful, but that final cipher still refuses to yield. At some point, a haunting question began to emerge in the minds of even the most devoted codebreakers. What if Kryptos was never meant to be solved at all? What if the true meaning of the sculpture isn't in its solution, but in the pursuit itself? Jim Sanborn once said that Kryptos was designed to speak to the CIA in their own language, but perhaps his intention went deeper. Maybe Kryptos was created not just to challenge intelligence officers, but to reflect the very essence of their world, a place built upon secrets, hidden knowledge, and the constant chase for the truth. In that sense, Kryptos is more than an artwork. It's a mirror. It reflects the endless cycle of curiosity and frustration, of obsession and discovery, that defines the human relationship with mystery. We crave answers. We need to know what's hidden. But sometimes, the very act of searching becomes the point. For years, people have described Kryptos as unsolved, but maybe it's more accurate to say that it's alive. Every new generation that encounters it adds something new theories, new methods, new perspectives. Thousands of people have spent sleepless nights chasing patterns, writing code, and comparing notes across continents. Some have dedicated years of their lives to it, and even when they fail, they can't walk away. There's something magnetic about it, something that draws people in and refuses to let them go. Kryptos doesn't just hide a message, creates a community bound by curiosity and the shared hope of understanding something beyond themselves. Sanborn, now in his 80s, still guards the full solution. He has said that it's locked away in a secure location, written on paper, protected from the world. He's also hinted that he might reveal the final answer one day, but never committed to when or even if that will happen. In interviews, when asked why he won't share the secret, he smiles, as if to say that the mystery is the gift. Revealing the final message might destroy what makes Kryptos so powerful. The sculpture's magic lies in its silence, in the invisible tension between what we know and what we don't. Once the last part is solved, the chase ends. The conversation stops. And maybe, just maybe, that's something he's not ready to let happen. There's a strange beauty in the idea that Kryptos could remain unsolved forever. It would make it one of the rarest things in modern history, a mystery that defies time, technology, and human intellect. In a world where everything can be decoded, decrypted, and analyzed, Kryptos stands as a quiet rebellion. It reminds us that some secrets aren't meant to be conquered. They meant to remind us of the limits of knowledge. The sculpture, with its curves and shadows, its cold letters and deliberate misspellings, becomes a monument to mystery itself. And for those who stand before it, looking at those random letters shimmering in the light, it's impossible not to feel a strange connection to the unknown. You can almost sense the intention behind every carved mark, the whisper of meaning just out of reach. Kryptos is a conversation between the seen and the unseen, between the artist and the observer, between truth and illusion. Whether the final cipher is solved tomorrow or remains a mystery for another 100 years, its legacy is already sealed. It's a reminder that even in a world obsessed with answers, there's still magic in the questions that refuse to be solved. For over 30 years, Kryptos has remained more than just a sculpture. It has become a living symbol of mystery, obsession, and the unrelenting human desire to uncover the truth. What began as an artistic experiment hidden within the walls of the CIA evolved into one of the most captivating, enigmas of modern times. Each of its 4 sections, 3 solved, 1 still locked, tells a story not only about language and code, but about the delicate balance between knowledge and secrecy. Through the brilliance of Jim Sanborn's design, Kryptos bridges the gap between art and intelligence, reminding us that the line between creativity and logic is far thinner than we imagine. The first 3 decoded messages revealed glimpses of poetry, illusion, and discovery, while the final unsolved cipher, K4, continues to defy every effort to expose its meaning. In its silence, it speaks louder than words, challenging experts, inspiring dreamers, and igniting imaginations across the world. Perhaps Kryptos was never meant to surrender its final secret. Perhaps its purpose was to remind us that mystery itself has value, that the pursuit of knowledge, the thrill of curiosity, and the endless search for truth are what define us. Whether K4 is finally solved or remains forever shrouded in secrecy, its legacy will endure as a monument to the power of human curiosity. Because sometimes the beauty of a secret lies not in discovering the answer, but in the journey of trying to find it.